again, when that is the narrative that we speak, when that is the narrative we think, that is the narrative that we create. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Start Today podcast. I'm your host, Chris Cavallini. Today, I'm excited because this episode I've been waiting to do since we actually dropped the podcast 10 months ago.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I've mentioned it before, but I wanted to strategically wait to do it until January because this time of year, the topic that we're going to discuss, which I will get into in just a moment, is something that a lot of people are in need of just figuring out or learning and implementing. But so I'm pumped up about that, but I'm even more pumped up because the entire band is here.
I know.
It's true.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute since we've all been in the same room together. First, I want to introduce my co-host, Rick Schaff. Rick, what up?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
And Brain, who's worked himself into a, I guess, co-host billet, was also our audio engineer. Yep. In the flesh, in the studio. Brain, what's good?
I exist. It's real. It's good to be back. Real good to be back.
With a fresh new haircut, I might add.
Yeah.
It's a good look for you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So, guys, before we talk about today's topic, I wanted to just kind of open up the show and basically say thank you. Normally, we close every episode with gratitude, but I want to say thank you because a few days ago, a article dropped. Yahoo Finance published an article where our podcast was actually listed as one of the top 10 business podcasts to listen to in 2020. And, there's a lot of other, really popular podcasts on there. Gary V,
Grant Cardone.
Yeah, Andy Frisella.
That's pretty crazy.
Tim Ferriss. It's really, really awesome to just kind of see it all come together. Obviously, we get the feedback. We know people are listening. We know it's making an impact. But having something like that happen, especially at the beginning of the year, it's just it was an awesome feeling. And guys, honestly, it wouldn't have happened without your support. You guys, not just tuning in, but just taking action on the things that we're discussing here and teaching you. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for allowing us to serve you, to help you, and to obviously put us in a position where we're starting to get a little bit of recognition out there.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was. So without further ado, let's get right into it, man. I want to make these podcasts as efficient as possible. I know everybody's time is very valuable listening, and they got to do this work, and then they got to do the other work, which is the actual execution. Mm-hmm. But guys, today we're going to talk about goal setting. All right, we're going to talk about mastering the art of goal setting, gaining a better understanding of what it is, why it's important, and exactly how to do it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of you suck at setting goals. You just do. And that's okay. Because after you listen to this episode, not only will you have learned just the strategies and the action steps and the purpose as to why you need to set your goal setting process up in a very specific way. Moreover, I think you're going to have some just thought-provoking newfound perspective that'll give you a better insight and understanding and kind of maybe help you have one of those aha moments, if you will. The problem is, most people suck at goal setting either because they don't do it, which by default puts them in the suck category, or they don't do it well. And that obviously sucks as well. And that creates situations
Or they've
where
listened to somebody who doesn't do it well.
Yeah. Well, it creates situations where they set a goal. They think they think they've set a goal, and then they don't see it through. They don't see it through to completion. And they have kind of developed a weird association with the process, maybe that makes them not even want to set goals anymore. But the fact of the matter is this. How you set goals matters, and it's an art form. It's an art form, and we can't just say things like, I'm going to do this and this really big thing, and not have a strategy, a plan, a protocol, if you will, to follow that will essentially manifest the outcome that we're after. I want you guys to just, and entertain the possibility that to this point in your life, the things that you've set out to do, the goals that you have set, even the goals that you've set that you've been able to accomplish, that perhaps you could have done it either a little better or a lot better. And before, we kind of dive into all that and break down the psychology of it, I want to just quickly remind everybody of, first of all, why goals are important.
Yeah.
All right. Goals, basically, they'll give us a positive direction to follow. Okay. Like in life, we have this journey that we're on. And if we're, going through it with no specific destination in mind, we can't really expect too many amazing things to happen, right? Success doesn't happen by accident.
No, it's got to be structured.
At anything. I mean, this is literally at anything. I'm not talking about financial success, business success. I'm talking about success at anything doesn't just happen. People don't just stumble upon success, contrary to, what, some of the more cynical, negative minds of the world would like to believe.
Yeah.
Success is a direct consequence of seeking out a destination and then following the steps that need to be followed in order to get there. It's truly that simple. Goals will also provide the benefit in the sense as you take a step closer and move closer to your goals, you're going to feel more accomplished, right? You're also going to build momentum. Yeah. In the beginning, it can be tough when, you're putting in the work and you're not really seeing a lot of progress right away because things take time. But once you start developing some momentum, it starts to almost have a compounding effect.
That's the thing. Every day you got to make a little task forward, a step in the right direction, because then you start to feel like a winner and
you
things
start
to
feeling
move.
each of those wins.
Yeah.
You start recognizing
it.
them. You can keep moving. You need that momentum.
It took me a long time to get to a point where I actually felt like I was making shit happen. And now, again, like just to kind of put it in perspective, the explanation about what I just said of how it's somewhat of a compounding effect. I feel like there are things that I can get done now in 3-4 months that, historically have taken me years. And I honestly mean that. There's no exaggeration there. No. And it's because I've learned the difference between executing on things and executing on things efficiently with a plan.
True.
You know what I mean? So every step that, you're going to take towards a goal is also going to increase your confidence and your self-belief. It's going to make you, realize and think that you can actually accomplish more, like whatever it is that you've accomplished to get close to the goal. Every step that you take is actually going to make you realize that you could probably go a little further. And that's exactly what we need, because the goal setting process is one that's evolving. It is not one that has a final destination. It's just like our personal development journey. And the further we go on our personal development journey, the more capable we realize ourselves to be in the sense of what we believe ourselves to be capable of.
Yeah.
What else here? Yeah. I mean, look, goals give us meaning and purpose. I mean, purpose is, I believe, the thing that most people who are just not feeling it in life, they're just, they don't really know like why they feel like shit. They're looking for their motivation. They're looking for this big secret to start feeling and living a life of the people that they see like on the internet. And they wonder why that switch just doesn't come on.
Yeah.
Yet they don't have purpose.
Yeah, you got to have the why.
You got to have
behind.
something to be motivated about.
I mean, you should have that why. You couldn't just set goals without understanding why you're doing them.
That's extremely important, and we're going to get to that. I'll tell you, get a sip of my hydrocharge here. There are 2 times in my life that I can remember that where I got to be like kind of the most depressed, the most lost, the most I guess call it anxiety, and just basically felt worthless. There was 2 times that I can remember, and one was when I left the military, and I basically got out of the military and just I lost my mission. I lost that that purpose I had. I mean, I was serving my country honorably. I had the unique privilege to be in a community that did some really awesome things. Every morning I knew where to be. I knew what uniform I had to wear. I knew what our mission was for the day. And it made me feel good. Again, I didn't realize I was feeling good till I no longer had it, but it makes you feel alive when you have a mission. It makes you feel alive. When I got out of the military, I basically was lost, and I was basically thrown back into some of my pre-existing, I guess, patterns, shall we say. And, I regressed, ended up, going the strip club drug dealer route. Obviously, that wasn't ideal, but it ultimately worked out for me.
Yeah.
But it led me to the second time where again I felt purposeless. Yeah, purposeless, without purpose. Is that the?
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, the tail end of my dealing days. The last couple of years, I just got to a point where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I had no job. I wasn't doing anything positive or productive in the world, in my life. Like, and I got to a point where I was just like feeling just hopeless. And again, I was making good money, like, didn't have to work a normal job, right? Like, had like nice cars, had nice stuff, but I didn't feel good about myself. And that's the most important thing. It's like, we got to feel good. I mean, that's like success. I mean, I think, look, like, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter how many toys we have, how much money we have, how badass our house, cars, like husband, wife, job, all that. It's how we feel. If we don't feel good about what the hell's happening, like nothing else matters.
Yeah, if you wake up and you don't have a purpose, you're most likely going to be like, oh, just sleep a little while longer.
Dude, exactly.
So is there a reason to get up?
People that feel like shit, like, ask yourself, do I have a purpose? And, if you don't, which again, most people who do feel like shit because they don't have a purpose. Like, you got to look at that and fix that.
You got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out, because without goals, you're going to haphazardly just kind of float with the current of life, aimlessly moving from just one destination to the next with no objective, purpose.
And that's the thing.
Mission.
We all feel that way at times, all of us. So you just have to figure it out and start making goals and move forward on them.
Yeah. And the difference between when you don't have goals, obviously you just kind of, look, it's easier to go
you end up
nowhere.
In a bar, drinking
you have
all
no
day.
destination. Yeah. You just end up existing. You end up just developing just resentment and stress towards like your living conditions, because you're basically taking action with no meaning attached to it. And that's stressful as fuck.
Yeah, it's a very easy pill to swallow and get used to.
For sure.
And then it gets harder and harder to get out of it.
On the other hand, when you have goals, when you set clear, specific goals, you're basically like a heat-seeking homing missile that's actively closing in on its target. Like, you're focused. You get up in the morning and you're ready to just get after it. Like, you know what the mission is. You know what the outcome is. So you know what you have to do in order to facilitate that. So you get up inspired. You might not always feel amazing, but you know where you're going, and therefore you do what you have to do, even, on those days where you're not feeling like super pumped up about it.
Yeah.
And that's a big fucking deal. So just to give you guys like some perspective on, like, there's been all kinds of studies out there that have conveyed the importance and just how effective it is to actually set goals, and not just set goals, but set goals the right way, where you're getting them down on paper and all that. In 1979, there was a graduating class of MBAs at the Harvard School of Business. Okay. And they basically did a study, and they interviewed all of the members of that graduating class, and they asked them one simple question: have you set clear written goals and made plans to accomplish them? So 3% had set clear written goals. 13% said that, well, they claimed they had goals, but of course they weren't in writing. And 84% had no goals at all, other than what they had planned on doing that summer.
And these are all people at Harvard.
Harvard, no, not just at Harvard.
Yeah.
MBAs at the School of Business, which is one of the most elite business institutions in the
very
entire
interesting.
world. It is. Yeah. So what's even more interesting is the fact that 10 years later, as part of this this case study, they caught up with all those people, and they concluded that the 13% who, claimed to have goals but didn't have them written down, they were actually making twice as much income as the 84% who had no goals. All right. The really fascinating part and just extremely compelling part that supports the argument that, we're discussing today, the 3% who had goals written down and, an action plan to facilitate the objective, they were earning 10 times more than the other 97% combined.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that makes sense to me because every time you write something down, every time you think about something, the more you plan everything, the greater chance you have of making it work.
Yeah, and that's the 3%. I mean, obviously that number is important. I have it tattooed on my forearm here, and we've used it, in some of our branding with Nutrition Solutions. But that's, it's not hard for me to believe that at all. It's just not, because again, like, it doesn't matter if, you're a former junkie with no education, no family, whatever, or evidently a graduate of the Harvard Business School. Like, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a target, like, it's you're not going to fucking go anywhere. It's as simple as that. It truly doesn't matter how smart you are, how experienced you are, how, talented you are. If you don't have a target in mind, if you don't have a clear vision and focus of where it is that you want to go, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. And if you're someone listening and you don't have a plan, if you start thinking about something and you put a plan together, you'll be shocked at how much on fire you become to get to the end of that finish line.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
So why is this? Like, why is it that setting and writing our goals down is so effective and important? Well, the summary thesis between basically all religions, philosophy, metaphysics, psychology, and just success principles is basically the fact that you become what you think about most of the time, right? What we think about most of the time is ultimately what is created in our reality. Okay. So whatever we're thinking about internally will ultimately mirror back in our reality. And how can we support that with a few examples to kind of put that in perspective? People who have health problems, right? People who have health problems who always fucking talk about their health problems, right? They're always complaining that they don't feel good. They got this appointment, that appointment. They get like, dude, that is all they're thinking about. That's where they're putting their energy, and that's what's going to continue to happen. They're going to continue to have more health problems, okay? And a way to take that even further to kind of like validate how that's like a real thing is when, you'll have somebody that goes in for a checkup. They'll go for a medical exam, and like, they're just, again, a routine exam, not something that they're going for, because they're not feeling well or this is happening and I want to get looked at. It's a routine, like, annual checkup. They go, and after the appointment, doctor calls them, somebody calls them, and then lets them know that they've found cancer in any part of their body, whatever, they have cancer. And then in a short period of time, that individual's health radically deteriorates, and perhaps they die in a short period of time. Now, before them getting that knowledge, before them being made aware by, their physician that they had the cancer, they didn't feel all these things. That all of a sudden now this onset of these insane symptoms that just destroys their health and takes them out in a short period of time. Why is that?
Which is a great example of how powerful your mind is
Exactly.
and how powerful your thoughts are.
Your thoughts have the ability to make you sick, and they have the ability to make you well.
And they've studied it, and their cell biologists have studied it, and
it's a real thing.
It's a real physical thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't get the amount of mainstream media coverage that it should and deserves, due to the fact that, like, they want people to be dependent on medications and pumping care into the system, and then obviously there's the population control thing. That's a real thing that.
And I mean, if you think about it just logically, whenever you think something with anger, you're creating chemicals in your brain. Whenever you're thinking something happy, you're also producing chemicals in your brain. So if you're thinking of those things enough and you're creating enough chemicals, those chemicals will affect you on a cellular level at some point down the line. So
same as it relates to people who, I can't lose weight because, right? Whether it's the I can't lose weight because, I have a thyroid issue. I can't lose weight because, I have a bad back. I can't lose weight because just fill in the fucking blank, dude. Like everybody has a fucking thing. And the more they say that shit, the more they hardwire it into their belief system. And it becomes a core belief.
The same thing in business. I can't do this. No, how can I do this? That's how you have to rephrase it. How?
Yeah. But these are things that, again, like what you think about, you become most times. So if you're thinking that, you can't lose weight because, dude, you will never be able to fucking lose weight ever.
Yeah.
Like it just won't happen. You come up with all these convenient narratives that excuse you from any form of person. It's not your fault. It's a thyroid issue. It's got to be a thyroid. It's not your fault. Like it's genetics. It's not your fault. Like your leg's fucked up, so you can't get after it. It's like, dude, like I swear to God, like if anything really bad happened to me, like I got in like a wreck or something, and maybe like became what's a paraplegic? If I lost like use of like my legs and all that, paraplegic.
Yeah.
I would almost kind of be pumped up for like that opportunity to like show people that you can actually still be a fucking like Greek statue like carved out of fucking stone. It's like there's a hell of a lot more things that you can do than things that you can't if you have like pre-existing injuries and shit like that. But what are you doing? You're focusing on the fact that, I can't do this because, and it's like your mind believes everything that you tell it. So you got to be careful.
Mentality.
You got to treat it good.
Yep.
You got to tell your mind the right fucking things. You got to tell yourself the right things. It's going to believe whatever you want. Just this, like, I can't lose weight because fuck that. It's bullshit. It's not true. It is not fucking true. You're not the one person in the history of human beings that is physically incapable of, because of some genetic mutation this world has never seen. You are not that person. I promise you that. And it just starts with just dropping that narrative of why you can't do this or that. A couple other things, people will use excuses of if they're not born into privilege and such, and they'll say, well, I can't do this, and because like I'll never be able to get like a good job, I'll never be able to blah blah blah, because I wasn't born in a privilege. I didn't have money for a good education. I didn't have any mentors. I have no way of knowing what to do or how to do it. Dude, again, when that is the narrative that we speak, when that is the narrative we think, that is the narrative that we create. We will not have a good job. We will not have a good career. We will not become anyone significant, because that is what we're focusing on all the time, is the fact that we can't do this and can't do that. So again, when we're thinking about things, and I want to do an entire episode on the law of attraction, and I want to get a guest in here who it can speak on it a lot better and a lot more in depth and from a biomechanical and metaphysical level than I can.
Cool.
But it's like whatever you think about internally, that's what's going to show up in your life. Okay, so look around you right now. All right, all the shit that you have and don't have is because of the things that you think and the ways that you think. Yeah. And it unfortunately, for the overwhelming majority of people, the way that they use the law of attraction is not productive. Yeah, they don't use it the way that essentially would create abundance.
Because they don't want to put the work in.
No, they're not aware. They're just not aware. A lot of people aren't aware that they're telling themselves these stories. And
yeah, whatnot. It's true. It's a hard habit to break when you're brought up that way, or
Exactly. So the difference between how successful people think and unsuccessful people just comes down to, successful people are going to think about, okay, this is what I want. Now, how do I get it? And it doesn't matter what that is. Okay. If they see something they want, they're going to basically say, all right, I want this. And now I need to figure out how I'm going to get it. Unsuccessful people, on the other hand, they're going to think about what they don't want, right? They're going to talk about their problems, their concerns. They're going to gossip. They're going to, be sure to point out who's to blame, what's to blame. And they invest so much energy doing this on a daily basis. Yeah. And it's like, it does the exact opposite of what they're like trying to do, if that makes sense.
It's true. Yeah.
They're talking about what they don't want all the fucking time, and they end up creating more of that.
You're right. It becomes such a pattern. Like they just don't see outside of themselves. That's what they become.
It's tragic, and it's self-sabotaging.
Yeah,
That
and
victim bullshit.
and I get it. Like we've all done that, I'm sure. You know, I've put limits on myself in the past, but luckily, I learned to start changing that
Narrative.
dialogue, in my head, and start asking, no, how? Like, not you can't. Like, I can't buy a hotel. Now, how the fuck do I buy a
Yeah.
hotel?
Anytime
Oh.
that you start like, you gotta, I guess the first step to fixing that is just entertain the possibility that maybe you're doing it and you're not aware of it. And then you got to start catching yourself and you just correct it. You correct it and you basically, if you catch yourself like looking at something and feeling like envious and feeling jealous and trying to justify or rationalize why you can't do it or why you haven't done it, like, remember that, like, that's how losers think. That's how losers talk.
Because
that's what losers are.
Yeah, man.
And quickly reel it back in. Like, that's the association that you need to have. That is like straight fucking loser shit. Like, that's it.
Because it's the path of least resistance. It's very easy to
Super
say,
easy.
I can't do this because I don't have the money. But it's
I don't have
hard
the time. I don't have the
Yeah, whatever
fill
it
in the
is.
blank.
But it's harder to say, how do I do this by boom, boom, boom. Then you got to put the work in to
it.
figure it out.
So before we get into like how to set goals the right way, there's I think I wrote, was it 7 or 8? It's 8 steps, but they're all numbered number 1 because they're all important. They're all equally as important. I don't want to lead people to think, oh, well, I'll just do 1 to 4 and I'm good. No, like, they're all labeled number 1, FYI. Before we get into that, like, I'm just going to straight up say that you shouldn't even bother to set goals if you're someone who's failed to accept responsibility over every area of your life. If you think that anything happening in your life is someone else's fault or is controlled by some external variable or like government entity, dude, just turn the fucking podcast off right now. Just stop. Actually, you know what? Like, you're the people who fucking need to listen to this shit more than anybody. So belay my last. Like, it really bothers me that, I mean, look, it's not like a few people. It's like the majority of our population have actually been conditioned to believe that where they go and what they do is essentially dictated by some entity of sorts. And like, it's not just one thing, it's a number of things. And it's a super convenient narrative to go with. I mean, but it's also it's also bullshit. It's also a cop out. The fact is, like, you will never be able to set any sort of like good, compelling, meaningful, productive goal until you've accepted complete responsibility. Because when you're on the path, like, working towards, dude,
And
first of all, the shit is so hard. If you're the type of goals I'm talking about, isn't like, I want to lose 10 pounds by next Tuesday so I can not look like a pig in my picture with the thing, whenever. So like, the goals we're going to talk about today are like massive fucking like domination, live my best life type goals. And you will not be able to like even make it probably past the first month because it's hard. It is so fucking hard. You're going to have a bunch of shit pop up unexpected. You're gonna have some problems, you're gonna have setbacks, you're gonna have adversity, you're gonna have all this shit. And if you're someone who like when that stuff happens, blames like something else or someone else, like, dude, you're fucked, because that shit's gonna happen all the time. And if you're blaming, like, oh, look, see, this happened, no, yeah, of course it fucking happened. Now what are you gonna do about it?
Exactly.
And that's really ultimately what it comes down to, how you act or react in those situations. Because your first goal, like, in order to like know how to set goals and to turn into just a goal conquering, a goal fucking destroying machine, if you will, is you need to accept the fact that your life is your responsibility. And beyond that, nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not.
There was a phrase I heard a long time ago that solidifies that or confirms it. It says, you are where you are in life based on every decision you've ever made. And you would like to think that that's not entirely true.
Or failed to make.
Yes, but it is.
It fucking 100% it is.
It is.
And I know that's I guess I
It's a
don't
tough
know.
one to swallow.
But it's not even
people.
something I really think about anymore, like with me, because I mean, like, when I talk about how I changed my life, I often talk about like the personal development, like we were spending an hour a day, every single day reading. I talk about like, discipline with my training and da 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 da. Dude, like before any of that shit, it was taking responsibility and realizing like, okay, wait a minute. This story that I've been telling myself my whole life that I couldn't do this and I wouldn't be able to do that. And I'm this way. And my mother and my father, my fucking look, I'm the guy who used to blame my father for being fucked up. Why I was fucked up. Here's the thing. I had never even seen a picture of the man. So how could I be damaged? And how could I be just hurt? And how could I be just emotionally unstable and have daddy issues if I didn't have a daddy? How can you?
Well, I mean, you're a perfect example of this.
But for a long time, I thought that I did.
I know.
But do you want to know why I thought I did?
Why?
Because it was put there. It was planted there by my mother. My mother led me based off the things that she said, the way that she acted. I felt what she was kind of laying down, and then I'm like, oh, I mean, I'm young and all that. And it's like that I started to think what she thought, and it became a real fucking thing. So it wasn't until like, my mid-20s that I start kind of becoming aware of all these, like, I have anger issues because of this. I have issues with women because of this. I am, fucking fill in the blank, dude. I had an issue for it. And I also had a justification for it.
Sure.
Which, dude, that makes it not ever go away. It wasn't until I realized, okay, wait a minute. I got to stop justifying this stuff. Why do I have to stop justifying it? Well, because it's not really true. It's not true. I mean, certainly things happen.
Yeah.
Certainly people are subjected to abuse. Certainly people are betrayed, let down, hurt any number of ways. Certainly these things happen. But if, there's one other person in the world of the history of time who's ever like made it or like turned their shit around and has been through what circumstances similar that, you've been through, that right there validates that not only can you do it, but you can do it better based off the blueprint that individual has laid down for you.
So true. So most people that I've met in my life, I'd say 95% of them that have had problems carry those fucking issues with them all the time.
Like a badge of honor.
And it just destroys their life or never lets them fully get ahead. But every once in a while I meet this person and I find out about them and I'm like, wow, really? And they're some of the most successful, solid people I know. And they've somehow...
And they've been through
made the choice
the
to not let
shit,
it,
right?
Yeah, crazy shit. But they won't let it destroy them, and they've blossomed and like thrived because of it.
Just a conscious choice not to
It
accept
is.
the victim mentality, because we're all taught that lie. It's just they realize, like some of us have, like that's no longer getting me anywhere. I have to make a choice to move forward.
It's shocking how many people
vision.
won't let go of that.
It's a lie in the sense, again, just to clarify, like whatever, maybe you were abused, perhaps, right? Like that's something that is relatable. I get it. No question that happened. No question that is a terrible thing. No question that, like people become damaged due to abusive relationships, abusive parenting, just shit like that, whatever, like fill in the blank, like whatever kind of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, like it's a horrible thing, but it's a choice that you ultimately make to decide and determine how you move forward. If you move forward, do you, again, wear this abuse on your shoulder like a badge of honor and basically point it out as to why you can't do this and why you're like this and just to try to justify why you're a shitty person? Or do you basically use that as a catalyst to put in the needed work and self-development to heal, to become someone and something better, and ultimately inspire a lot of people that are out there that have been through similar circumstances and situations, to show them that it's possible, what is possible when you handle it the right way. And regardless, there is a right and wrong way here. Okay. The right way is to take responsibility in a positive, productive fashion that allows you to move forward. The wrong way is to allow past trauma, abuse, and situations to destroy your reality and future.
Yeah.
Just not very smart. Right? So again, your first goal, guys, needs to be to accept the grim fact that your life is your responsibility. Nobody's coming to save you. But on a far more positive note, nobody is standing in your way from creating the life you want either.
That's true.
And that's what we need to focus on. Nobody is standing in your way and preventing you from becoming the person that you were destined to become. Nobody. And that should be a pretty empowering feeling for people to realize and actually just kind of like let that sink in for a second.
I guess we could say nobody but you.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it. But again, I mean, just like, you might be the cause and creator of your own and current problems, you're also the creator of the solutions that will get those problems solved. So look, I talked a little bit about justification, rationalization of negative emotions and, blaming this and blaming that. And I'm fucked up, because I'm fucked up because, or I'm like this because, I'm just like, no, stop saying that. Okay. Don't say that, because first of all, it's going to just fuck your shit up. Right. I mean, like nothing good is going to come out of that. Like we'll just start there, but it distorts your thought process. Okay. It drains you of mental energy, and it'll basically control your life and your thinking. And by controlling your thinking, it basically creates your reality in an unfavorable way. So we got to stop justifying the reason that we I mean, and this could be any of this. I'm not just talking about like abuse is the major end of the spectrum, right? Like I'm talking about like if you're somebody who's not very meticulous with like the organization of your work, right? If you do work and it was kind of like sloppy, or you lack attention to detail, or you're traditionally late with submitting assignments, projects and stuff, with deadlines, and you always come up with some stupid fucking reason as to why that's actually like okay, like you got to stop doing that shit. Like losers justify and rationalize negative situations to try to flip it into a it doesn't work. It's ineffective. Not only is it ineffective, not only do you lose credibility and respect, people might not say anything, but they're like, dude, like you're a douchebag. Like stop saying that. Like they're thinking that. Most people don't have the fortitude to say it. Right. But beyond that, it also creates a dynamic where you're like, if you're going with that like narrative and thought process, how is it going to improve if you're not identifying or addressing it as an issue, as a situation, as a problem? How can you possibly take the level of action to fix something that you don't perceive to be a problem? And you see this a lot. I mean, I see this a lot with people that make with little things, but they're actually not little things. Little things are preventing them from just doing bigger things. Like they justify or rationalize why something was done a certain way that was not a good outcome or not a good. It's like you can't do that. There might have been a reason, but that is not a justifier. It's not there is no rationalization of a negative outcome or a negative emotion or a negative thought process toward. There's zero rationalizations or justifications, and that's probably like for some people to hear that, they're probably like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like that might come as a shock to some, but it has to be said, and moreover, it has to be embraced.
Yeah.
I mean, again, man, like I was the master of justifications. Negative, of course, right? It was never anything that was positive and helped me like evolve and improve my life. It wasn't until I stopped doing that shit that was able to start really, doing the work. I took full responsibility over my life, full responsibility over the things that have happened to me, and realized that I had the ability to determine my thought process towards those things. And I had the ability to proceed any way that I saw fit, not this bullshit that I was saying for however many years that I actually said so many fucking times that I started to believe it, and I believed it, and I believed in it.
Do you remember when that time
Honestly,
period was?
It wasn't like a one time like.
Was there any certain catalyst or? Anything that you're going to recall?
Honestly, it probably is the personal development, man. I was probably through like the books where it could put
I think mine was
responsibility,
too.
and it kind of said like it probably was something in a book I read that talked about like your parents and how people. It was literally probably something that like outlined my situation, at least that I felt like the person was on the other end that I was reading the book, that they were talking to me specifically.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit,
Yeah,
that's a thing.
I think that happened.
Who would
to
have
me.
thought?
Yeah,
I'm like, this person writing this book clearly is smarter than me and better than me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make the choice to go with that instead of the shit that I keep telling myself. Because honestly, by doing that, it actually, holy shit, like I immediately fucking felt better. Like just saying like, I am responsible. I'm responsible. Dude, that in itself, like I'm fucking like, fuck, I'm responsible.
Yep.
I'm not a victim. I am responsible. I am not a fucking victim to anything or anyone. I'm in complete fucking control. And where I go and what I do is predicated on the work that I'm willing to put in and the level of responsibility that I'm able to accept over everything in my life, the good, the bad, and anything that might fall in between.
It's a very pivotal step.
Dude, it's everything.
Everybody listening, like we all know the people that make excuses, right? If you can turn that around and accept that responsibility for your own life, you'll start moving ahead.
Look, the difference between people who take responsibility over their life and people who don't is literally the difference between a child and an adult. And there are people who are, adult by age and in their 50s, 60s that are still children. They still have the mentality, the caregiver mentality. Oh, my parent. 'Cause, I mean, when you're a kid, like your parents basically run the show, right? They tell you what to do, what to think, what to wear, what not to do. Like you're in school, like all this, so you're conditioned under these circumstances to do things a certain way. And other people are basically your caregivers and your providers. But then in the real world, it don't work like that. But yet people continue to carry on with the mentality that they had when they were in elementary school. It's like, we're not in elementary school. Again, like to all of our listeners and to anybody who might come across this piece of content, it's like, how the fuck are we gonna win? How are we gonna crush? How are we gonna live our best lives if we're operating with the same fucking mentality that we had in the 5th grade?
Yeah.
I just don't know that you can do that. And I don't know that that's something people ever really think about. They're just not aware. So that said, let's talk a little bit about goals. All right. So we know that it's not until you've taken complete ownership over every area of your life will you be able to master the art of goal setting. All right. As it pertains to goals, failure to accomplish goals, I feel, will come down to several things. I'm going to list a few of them here that I've just jotted down in my notes. A lack of personal responsibility, which we have outlined in detail, and that could come in the form of, I don't have the time because I have kids, my work schedule, my back hurts, the thyroid issues, I don't have the support, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah. It could also happen as due to a failure to make adjustments in our lives, basically the sacrifices that are needed to basically free up and create the energy and the time that's going to be needed to invest towards the goal. Sure. Like if we think that we're going to like just start doing something monumental, like from one day to the next, right, and be able to keep up with all the shit that we have going on, right, like that's not going to go well. So like, just don't think that you can do it because you can't. It's impossible. You can do it for a short period of time, but then the first little hiccup, slight little thing that pops up unexpected, dude, you have no extra energy. You're already like in a deficit. So that's when things crumble, is when people don't recognize and determine what all needs to be sacrificed in order for them to create the life that they want or accomplish the thing that they want. I mean, something I say all the time. Sometimes, we're going to have to sacrifice something good in order to become something great. And that's crucial. Okay. We haven't even talked about that's actually one of the steps, and we'll get into that. you got to determine what needs to be sacrificed, guys. And a lot of times, those of you set goals in the past, you haven't stayed consistent with it. And, you maybe a lot of times people don't actually look back and think about why that happened, because nobody wants to think about something that makes them feel like shit conveniently. But I'm going to do that for you. I want you to think about it. I'm making you think about it. Look, maybe it wasn't just a lack of effort, lack of initiative, lack of discipline. Maybe it was. Yeah, it probably was for a lot of people. But there are probably some people who felt like they were giving it their all, but still fell short. And you fell short because you didn't make the proper level of sacrifice to where you have the energy to sustain the actions that need to be done in order to create the outcome that you're after.
If you have a huge goal, but for me, I've made it where I wanted it, but I wanted it also be convenient to the life I was already living.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to get rid of the awful things I was already doing.
And what did you discover through that mindset?
Well, yeah.
So, but no, thank you for sharing that. And appreciate that. I think everybody has done that at some point. Yeah. But again, it's there's no exception to that rule. Another thing that will relate, that will cause people to not be able to see the goal through to completion, is not prioritizing their life's goals as the single most important thing in their life. Okay, people want to look at their goals as extras. Yep. They want to look at their goals as something that they're only excited about and prioritizing maybe at the beginning of the year, right? Maybe they got a vacation coming up, maybe any number of fucking things. Right. But the fact of the matter is this: as it relates to your life's goals, right, the most important goals, like the shit that determines the legacy that you create and the impact that you make on this planet. Okay, the stuff that's going to basically determine whether or not people remember you after your time has passed. Okay, those type of goals, those type of commitments, they need to be at the top of your priority, the most important fucking thing every single day. More important than your family, more important than your friends, more important than your career. Because if you're setting goals the right way, your goals should be closely related to your family, to your business, to your job, to your career, to your finances, and just quality of life. Your goals need to be the most important work of your life, not something that you do on the weekends, not something you do when you feel like it, not something when you do when you're not going out and having drinks with the boys on a fucking Thursday for ladies' night. Like, your goals need to be the most important work of your life. And you need to really believe that. You need to really feel that. You need to have that level of commitment and passion towards that. I can't put that in you. Like, I wish I could. You can't say, oh, this is really important to me, but not really fucking feel it. Like, do you know when you're feeling it? And that's what it is. That is ultimately what will give you that, like, just that fucking, that energy, that fire to do what you need to do to make the goal happen. And that stuff that you need to do isn't going to be fucking easy. All right. The last thing, not the last thing, just one of the things that I mentioned here. I think also some of the times that when people set goals, they fail to accomplish them because the goal that they set is just uninspiring. They set some little bullshit goal that it's like, yeah, if I do that, I guess I'll be a little better, but it's not, it's not something that's going to like inspire them to get up early. Yeah. It's not going to be something that's going to literally like make them want to be uncomfortable consistently for like some little bullshit result. Like, if you're setting goals that are like just little and just pointless, dude, like, what do you really expect to fucking happen? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be excited about the shit. Mm-hmm. You cannot be setting goals that you're not fucking passionate about. Right. And people will do that because they think they want a lot of money and all this shit. So they say, I want a lot of money, but they just like want the money that there's no thing that is attached to it, which we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But like, just think about it, like, what the fuck is exciting about, like, I want to lose 6 pounds. Like, who gives a shit? Like, really? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. No, there's nothing exciting. I was trying to find a scenario in my brain. Yeah. Like, like, I would like to make $5,000 more a year. And like, honestly, for anyone who might say, think, well, $5,000 is a lot of money to some dude. $5,000 is the same amount of money to everybody. Literally. In ones, if we laid out $5,000 here, there would be $5,000 bills. Yeah. Would there not be? It's the same amount of fucking money. And saying beyond that, saying that I want to make $5,000. Well, what the fuck is the difference between saying that you want that and wanting 50,000, 100,000? What the fuck is the difference? The difference is one is exciting, one is not. The difference is one will actually give you like the fucking fuel and the drive to get after it, to work towards making it happen. The other does not.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we agree on that?
Sure.
Yeah. Like it's a mindset thing. It's like, I don't care if there are people that are listening to this that are like super broke right now and struggling financially. If you want that not to be the case, you have to change your mindset about money. You have to start thinking big. No. You have to start thinking big. If you're thinking small, you're going to continue to get small. If you're thinking small, you're going to continue to create the circumstances and situation that you currently have. And like, again, like I still think I am thinking small, and I know, like I strategically set goals that are big, but a part of me is like also aware that what I currently think is big, at some point in the future, I would have evolved. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta just fucking think a hell of a lot bigger in order to actually produce a lot bigger outcomes.
True.
So
I would say if you can, celebrate the 5, but make it a stepping stone towards the 50.
Exactly. That needs to not be the fucking end game.
Yeah, not at all.
That's not the end game. Yeah, that's a piece of the journey towards the bigger.
Absolutely.
So look, average thinking leads to the creation of average goals. When you create average goals, you're ultimately in a situation that best case scenario, you're going to have an average payoff, right? Your goal produces an average outcome. Like, is that inspiring to anybody at this table?
No.
No, it's not. So basically, when your goal will at best produce you an average payoff, it basically means the level of passion, enthusiasm, and commitment to said goals are also going to be average. Okay? So why would people set these type of goals? Why do people set these just impotent, bullshit, inspiring goals that won't actually change their life?
Because if they don't do them, they don't care.
It's comfortable, right?
Yeah.
It's convenient. Yeah, it's convenient. It excuses them of, like any sort of endurance, like, having to endure and make any sort of significant sacrifices. And at the end of the day, like, hey, if they don't really do it, nobody notices. Who really cares? We'll just keep going and just, keep kind of existing within the herd and just being fucking average. Fuck that.
Would you say there's part of that, though, that's because they don't see value in themselves to do some of those kind of goals?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all comfort. I mean, they're not doing it to be like deceptive to themselves consciously.
Yeah. They're
doing it to protect themselves. It's weak.
It is.
We can't live our life in a way that we're trying to guard ourselves from discomfort at all times. Like, that is not going to go well. Like, we're not that fucking soft. We're not that fragile. Our bodies, our minds are actually meant to endure. But, things have gotten so convenient and comfortable, and technology and fucking people are just pussies, like, in general, that, it's kind of created that mentality of just wanting to just remain comfy and cozy and safe. But there's nothing fucking safe about being average. There just isn't. There just isn't, because when you exist in the realm of average and swim in the sea of mediocrity, every few months, 6 months, a couple times a year, something is going to happen. All right. There's going to be something that isn't accounted for. It's going to just pop up unexpected, because that's what life does. And that's what life is. And at that point, when you're in a situation where you're always just battling, treading as hard as you can to stay just above water, one little hiccup basically puts you underwater for however long, and that's when shit gets really bad. That's when the stress that you always live with at the average level, that's when it completely gets 100x'd, and you basically lose control. You get one thing that basically gets fucked up, and it creates a domino effect, and literally leaks into every other area of your life, and it'll be by the time you get that adjusted, it's only a matter of time. But that's what happens when you are just living to exist. So we got to be mindful of that. And another thing that people do is they're going to set goals based off of their surroundings and the influence of other people around them, right? Which can be a good strategy, I suppose. Unfortunately, most people do it. Most people are going to base goals like because of other ways that people are thinking around them, and the people unfortunately happen to be like the average motherfuckers that you see everywhere. Like if you're going to set a goal based off somebody else's thinking and thought process, have it be like the whales of the world. Right? The people who are writing books on goal setting, the people the people who are putting out information to tell you to set bigger goals. Stop thinking so fucking small. Stop trying to stay safe. There's nothing fucking safe about trying to stay safe.
Yeah.
The last thing, your surroundings, obviously we know that our surroundings play a big role in how we feel, how we think, how we act. Your goals are going to be influenced by your surroundings. So be aware of this and just understand that, just straight up, like right now, everyone who's listening, everybody who's going to see this, everybody in this room, we have so much more potential than we currently believe and understand. And just knowing that just entertains the possibility, the what if, what if I am capable of more? What if what I currently believe is actually not true, and I can actually do so much more? That is a much more healthy, productive dialogue to go with than what most people do, which is, oh, well, I can't because fuck that.
Yeah. No, it's easy to talk yourself into, I'm not good enough, that kind of crap. And then you should be saying to yourself, why not me? Why can't I do that?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think, before we get into the home stretch here, and I give you guys the 8 steps to obtaining mastery with your goal setting, do you think that making the conscious thought process to say that I can't do this, and justifying, articulating, elaborating why you can't, takes any more energy than to go the other way with it and to basically say, I can, I will, I must? Do you think it's any more energy?
There's no more energy in that part of it. Yeah.
But think about that a little further. So you have the energy that with the statement, right? With the self-talk, which is extremely important.
Sure.
You're saying that there's the energy on beyond that
After.
is what's different. You're saying that you didn't say it, but I'm guessing what you're going to say is the energy that would be required to actually work towards the goal and make it happen.
Sure.
Okay. Well, what about the energy of having to deal with being broke and stressed and sick and overweight and fucking miserable and negative? What about that? If you were to lay that out on a chart, if we had some scientific way of doing that,
I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting.
So would I.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But what do you think, honestly?
It sure could be.
Because the thing
very
is,
problematic.
it's long term. It's
Yeah.
long term. I think in the long term, dude, I think actually the
because the other energy that you put in toward the positive side is that's fun energy. When
it doesn't drain your soul.
Yeah, it doesn't. It all.
But what do you think, honestly, if you had to put a label on it?
You might have a point there. I'd like to see that.
I think without question. But the problem is, from the people's perspective that go with that other narrative, they don't know. They don't know because they don't feel what you feel when you have that optimistic, positive.
Yeah, because think just
mindset.
getting back to what you said. Think about it just on a physical perspective. You're right,
dude.
If you don't do anything physically to help your health,
I mean, bro, just getting out of bed in the morning.
You're going to have some serious stress and problems.
Dude, getting out of bed in the morning probably drains you of 7% of your daily energy. For the
day. Think about all the energy you'd have to utilize, to
think about the energy. Think about the energy that
walker, or and everything else involved.
What about the energy that you have to invest putting on clothes that, like, you want to try to not reveal certain things, or only being able to wear, like, putting clothes on that don't fit you the way that they once did, and fucking having a look in the mirror and say, oh, does this like make me look fucking fat? It's like, dude, no, your fat makes you look fat. Like, what about that? Like, that's energy that people they're just not aware of, look, you can't create more energy. You can just replace existing energy. We only get so much energy. So, like, dude, these are minor fucking things, but, like, we could keep going, and, like, at that point, that's so much energy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, being self-conscious and all that, it's
the mental game, especially,
dude. And that's the thing. You're sitting there and it's fucking draining you. It's like, not like you're even out there, like, executing. Mental energy is far more taxing than physical energy. There actually been studies done on this. So, but yeah, so just something to think about. Like, I think, like, honestly, it's a mindset shift. It's taking responsibility over your life, realizing that, you're in control, baby. Like, that's it. Like, you can go where you want to go and do whatever it is that you want to do. But until you accept responsibility, you will not see it through the same lens as how I do. And perhaps this message won't resonate with you as much as those who are listening who have accepted personal responsibility. So I don't know, if you're looking to like do less work or like just have less energy, just switch the mindset, because it literally will be infinitely more exhausting and hard and shitty by, going with the I can't because, and I whatever the fuck. So, all right, guys, I've decided to break this episode into 2 parts because this is some important shit. And honestly, it's a lot of information, and I want you to process what you just heard before absorbing the next part of the episode, which is just tremendous content and just very, very, extremely important things that will basically set you up for a lifetime of winning. So think about what you've just heard, and on next week's episode, we're going to outline the 8 action steps that will allow you to obtain goal setting mastery. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.